Imagine starting a business the way you want to without worrying about what others think and say. Today I'm speaking to such a businesswoman. Her name is Andra Annette. She's a health coach, gut health expert, and she's succeeding by doing things her way.
I'm very excited to be here with you, Morris. It's always a pleasure to see you.
So Andra and we worked together a bit, I think last year or maybe 2 years ago. I helped a little bit with video content. But ever since then, you've taken off on your own, and you sent me a really cool message recently, and that's why I wanted to do this call with you. So let me pull this up. You sent me a message where you said, growing everything at the same time was the smartest move I ever made, and now allows me to relax. And the other thing you wrote was, I am growing just being me. You know, I never got the concept of one at a time. And that was such an intriguing message that you sent me, because way too often we hear the other advice, right? And you've always been someone who does things your own way with the membership sites and your Facebook groups and your newsletter, all those things. And now you're even doing TV channels, or I should say online streaming channels. And so tell me about your situation today. Like, why did you send me this message and tell me that doing everything at the same time was the smartest move?
Well, I think that at some point in the beginning, I was overwhelmed in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. The first couple of months, it was difficult to grow everything at once. But then once I got my groove on, it was like all bets were off. It became easier and easier to do. So it's just as easy to post on 14 channels as it is on one. So, and it allowed me to have that consistent message everywhere. So everybody was getting to know me, and I used all of my channels to promote whatever I was doing. So I was slowly but surely bringing different people from different places into my world and building a community with them and getting to know them. I wasn't trying to sell them like a lot of people suggest that you do, because that's not who I am at my core. I am that girl that likes building relationships. I've worked with the public my entire life. So it was just easier not to listen. Probably the first month or two when I was out, there were people telling me you should do it this way, grow one thing at a time. I think even you told me that. Grow one thing at a time, get really good at one channel. But I'm one of those people that are naturally a multitasker. So it's easier for me. And that doesn't mean that I'm so busy with tasks that I'm not in my business. But when I get really good at those tasks, it allows me to spend more time in my business. So a lot of people say, do Facebook first, and then go to Instagram, and then go to TikTok. But now that I'm on all those channels and I have a consistent message on all of them, I'm done. So other people finish growing on Facebook and then have to go to Instagram and then have to go to TikTok. But I've already secured all those channels and people continue to come into my world. So I just found it easier to do that way.
I love that about business and marketing, that, you know, we have so many rules, but then we can always find examples of someone who breaks the rules and succeeds anyways, right? And I think these stories are very encouraging, because sometimes we need to do more of what we want to do and, you know, not try to force ourselves into a schema that doesn't work for us or doesn't fit us at all. So you mentioned at the beginning that you experienced an overwhelming phase trying to be present on all the platforms. So what allowed you to push through that phase of overwhelm?
It wasn't so much about being on all the platforms. It was about posting to them. That scheduling time took longer in the beginning because I wasn't tech savvy. So you learn what you need to as you grow. You know, now I'm teaching people go high level. I'm teaching VAs how to do the work for me. So it's a different story today. But I think that you push through it because you see what you want to do and where you want to be, and you know that you have to get through these things no matter how hard they are to get to where you want to go. Certainly there's days where you're not happy about it. I'd be lying if I said I smiled through it. You know, there was a lot of bombs being thrown as I tried to get through those days. But I think the more I did it, the more fun it became, the more challenging it was to myself. And I had gotten hacked on Instagram very early, and luckily I had 2 Instagram accounts, which allowed me to open another one and to get the other one taken down, because it did have my name and my certifications and stuff on it. So, and then I learned to use all of my channels as a funnel to me. So people build funnels all the time. I thought at the time, why not just build a funnel around me and bring them back to me where I want to be? So that's what I've done. And, you know, I don't really sell on Facebook. A lot of people don't get that, but I do have my own platform. So that's why I'm not trying to sell people or anything like that, because I developed those relationships. I can't help someone until I understand the situation they're in and what those pain points are. And hearing that pain point, you know, mentioned in a post doesn't really strike the same way as talking to someone and feeling that validation and feeling, yes, I understand that. Because I'm helping people that I was 15, 16 years ago. So I know their pain points. It's easy for me to talk to them, but do I want to rub their face in it and say, you need me, you need me, you need me? No, I want them to know that there are choices and there are things they can do to get out of that situation. Whether I'm a good fit for them or not, it's still, you know, a point where they know they can jump off onto something else, a starting point where they need to get that self-confidence and get moving in a manner that's going to bring them back to where they need to be.
Who do you help? Who do you work with, and what do you do for them?
Well, I'm a leaky gut, thyroid, and weight loss expert, because they all work together. And a lot of people still don't understand that, but you can't help one without helping the other. I've spent my life putting the body back together. I've been in healthcare more than 40 years now. So you can't separate it for convenience to niche down, or it's just not the way the body works. But I help them by really helping them step back into who they are. We're all creators. We all have the ability to heal ourselves. But along the lines, life, what goes on, trauma, people telling us things that we can't do, we've gotten away from who we really are. People know how to be healthy, but they've bought into what society tells them healthy is, and they're not tuned into their body. So I reconnect that mind and that body. I get them back into self-love and self-care and really just understand self-acceptance, because you're not going to get to 120 pounds. If you're at 300 pounds, you're not going to get to 120 pounds by killing yourself with restrictive diets and stuff like that. You have to do that inner work. And I'm someone that was on that journey. And until I believed in myself and that I was capable of doing that work, nothing happened. That weight didn't come off. The scale didn't budge. As soon as I said, I got this, I'm going to take care of me, everything changed. You know, so you do need that self-love. You do need that self-care. There's a lot of people that don't know how to put themselves first. And, you know, and I hear that a lot from women, and that saddens me. You know, I was one of those people too, because we're better in everything we do when we take care of ourselves first. We can delegate. You know, we raise children, we run households, we're business women. We can certainly delegate and ask for help when we need it. Ask our spouse, you know, can you help me with this? I'm a little overwhelmed. Or ask my friend, you know, I really want to do this. Will you start walking with me? But we need to really bring it back in and start taking care of that inner us and stop focusing on the outside. The outside will take care of itself when you take care of the inside. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Shad Helmstetter. It was one of the greatest books I've ever read. The things we say when we talk to ourselves. I had to really literally rewire my brain, because even though I was successful in career and stuff, I didn't feel good inside, and I didn't know why. So I had to do that inner work. Was it easy? No. Was it painful? Yeah. But you really have to spend that time with yourself to get to where you want to go in your vocation, in your career, whatever. And it does have to align with who you are. So listening to everybody else made me uncomfortable out here because it was no longer my story I was telling, it was theirs. And I said, the only way this works is if I share who I am, because I'm the one that got those results, not them. They don't know that walk. So, and then I just kept doing what I was doing, and it just kept getting easier and easier and easier.
Yeah. That's such a great story, Andra. And do you also see parallels between, what it takes to improve your health and change the shape of your body and what it takes to run a business the way you do, in the sense that it takes that mental work? And like you said, we all know what it takes to be healthy, but we don't believe in ourselves. Do you see that same parallel in business when you speak to other entrepreneurs who are, maybe there are where you were a few years ago, that we all know what to do to market ourselves or publish ourselves, but we don't believe in it, or we don't believe in ourselves?
I think that concept has to do with everything you're trying to do in life. Self-belief and self-confidence is the greatest gift that you can give yourself. So anyone can tell us we're not worth it, but if we feel that way, then nothing changes. If someone says to me, Andra, you're a shit, if I feel that way, then it hurts. And that might stymie what I'm doing, or you're no good at marketing, Andra, or this isn't the way to do it. It doesn't matter what area of my life it is. If I haven't created boundaries and created that great self-concept in myself, then what they say might hurt, but it won't stop me. Once I have that feeling, that inner knowledge that I can really achieve anything I want to, then it doesn't matter what anybody says, because it's my life. I'm still going to continue to go for what I want and the way that I want to do it. And I think a lot of people are told, to do things a certain way, and and they feel like there's not alignment. But I don't think the alignment is because they're new. I think the alignment is that what they're being told to do isn't their natural way of doing it. We know how to build businesses. We know how to create content. We know how to do all those things, just like we know how to create health. We're born creators, but we have to give ourselves that permission to win, lose, fail. We all fail. Nobody says we don't. But that's part of growing and understanding what you can do better. I failed again and again and again. It makes me a stronger person today.
How do you work with your clients today? I know you have different platforms and offers. What do you do to help your audience nowadays?
Well, I offer my offers to them. I do encourage them to come on my private platform. I work with a lot of people one-on-one. When I go live, a lot of people just reach out to me. I'm not reaching out to them in the DMs like everybody says, because I think that's so sleazy still. So a lot of people reach out to me. I do groups. I do a lot of challenges because I think the motivation is easier for people to take. I think that if you can get somebody a small win quickly, they're more apt to stay with you. When they see 3 months, because let's face it, we have everything at our fingertips today, right? So we expect immediate gratification. So if I approach someone and say, work with me for the next 6 months, they're like, oh, wow, it's going to take 6 months. They've already counted themselves out because they say, I can't do this for 6 months, right? But if you start small and you do a challenge and they get some wins, they're more likely to keep doing it and start believing in themselves. Because the first week of all my programs is really finding about them, what they need, what they want. It's not my program. It's their program. What do they need? How can this work? What can they add into their life? What foods could they eat? It's not about taking things out. It's about adding more positive in, more positive affirmations, more good food, more, spirituality if you believe in it. But more positive people to support you. It's all about adding that back in.
And you deliver all of that either through one-on-one coaching, live streams, your streaming channels, and your membership platform? Is that it?
My streaming channels are more about telling other people's stories, because for me, healing comes through those stories. There's a lot of people out there that feel like this only happens to them. And when they hear somebody else share their story and finds a way out, they say, well, maybe I can do it too. So healing comes in a lot of ways, but working with clients or letting them hear somebody else's story, or maybe they need what that other person's offering. It's not always going to be about me. I'm not for everybody. But if they hear somebody else and they get that help, that's all that really matters to me. It doesn't necessarily have to be from me. If you care about people, you want what's best for them. So yes, through the streaming channels, more on YouTube, I do little things now. I started setting up little podcasts, weight loss made simple, mindful eating and things like that. So I do those on Udemy also. Those are pretty much free. Those are nowhere near the cost of like working with me, because of course there's more time involved and more intricacies of a private program than like a group or a scale. So yeah, and on my platforms, yes, all of my platforms are very consistent and they intertwine. So I am on School, and School is based on interactions. So the more people interact, the more things that open for them. So there's memberships there. If they want more help, they can ask for more help. They're given 2 free programs when they come in, how to change your habits. And the other one is mindful eating, everything you need to know about being mindful, not just in your eating, but in your life, to really get back into your body and understand what's going on. And then everything opens as they interact. So they can have access to all those programs. But a lot of people didn't understand why I was creating. So now I don't have to create anymore. I have low ticket, I have high ticket, I have everything in health. What are the chances that I'm working with a woman that has hormonal issues and she's not in menopause, or she doesn't have hypertension, or she doesn't have diabetes? So I've created programs so that they can learn how to eat for those other disease processes in their life. So those are on that platform too. So even if we're talking about gut or thyroid and they need help with that hypertension, they can go in there and work that program and learn how to eat for what's going on in their individual body and tailor it to themselves, right?
Yeah, I remember that even a couple of years ago, Andra, you've already had dozens of books written on various platforms, like some of them on Amazon, some of them on your own platforms. Yeah, you are a massive creator, I would say.
I like to create. I like new. I think that comes from my shopping addiction. I like new. So I found a new way to have new, because it's not always about material. So I think that the markets are always changing. And I think that as more people start to accept limiting beliefs and the law of attraction and what we're capable of, that people are going to be open to more things and understand that a lot of what's missing is them in that puzzle, right? So when I was on that weight loss journey, I was 300 pounds and I'm back in my, size 2s. But what was missing was me. I was missing. I was at work. I was, everywhere, but in my body doing things for me. So I had to reconnect with that person. And, it's not easy to wake up one day and say, oh my God, how did I get here? Who is that? And how do I get back? But sometimes we have to go back to go forward, because when I was able to go back to where the problems started, I saw that they were always there. I always had gut health issues. I always had a thyroid issue. The autoimmunes came out of them. And as I started tracking those pathways, it was so much easier to correct.
When you're now looking back over the years of your business, what were your favorite ways to market yourself and promote what you do?
I want to say just showing up and talking to people. I do look back at some of my earlier videos and have those Russell Brunson moments where he was scared in the beginning and now he's a different person. But I think that in the beginning, I was more comfortable because I showed up as the nurse, and that's so much a part of who I am. And I showed up during COVID when people couldn't get in to see the doctor, and I just wanted to talk to people. I just wanted to know how I could help them. And I think that was really the highlight of my business, that beginning time, because that's when I made those connections to why I wanted to continue to help. But as time went on and I kept hearing people tell me what I should be doing, I started getting out of alignment, saying maybe they're right, and as soon as you start second guessing yourself, you're getting further away from what you need to do. You can't second guess yourself. Even if you're not totally confident, show up, fake it till you make it. That's what I would tell people. Fake it till you make it. The first time I went live, oh my God, I deleted it like 10 times before I finally said, oh, who cares? But I kept doing it, and it gets easier. I don't like cameras. I don't like being this, I modeled as a child, and I never liked being the center of attention, ever. Maybe because I was the baby and I didn't get that intention. I don't know why. So it got easy for me to talk to people by interviewing them. And I found that I just really love making those connections. So I've built another business with that, and I love it. I get to meet new people all the time. I get to see a different side of the world. We turn on the TV today and we can hear so much bad that's going on in the world. And I get to meet with really cool people that have had so many traumatic experiences, and they've decided to start a new day, a new journey, and help other people. And I think that's an amazing thing, to take what they have learned and help someone else. And isn't that what all entrepreneurs do? There's not a lot of people out here that, do things that really aren't connected to them. If people were in accounting and stuff like that, and they had something go wrong, they don't come out and start talking numbers games and stuff. They kind of stay with the same flow, or maybe they go into real estate or marketing because they do understand those numbers. But it's always something closely aligned with who we are at our core, because that's our superpowers. So it would be odd if someone as a health professional came out and started creating content for everybody else, right? I could do it, certainly, but and I do help a lot of coaches create content and learn different programs. And I do that for fun, as an extension of myself, but I wouldn't do that as a business, because it's not where my enjoyment is and where that natural sense of order is for me, if that makes sense.
You mentioned when you started, you were the nurse, and then you started second guessing yourself by listening to advice that just wasn't for you. Do you have an example of something where you second guessed yourself and now looking back you realize that was wrong?
Yeah, I was trying to be somebody I wasn't, and that doesn't sit right with me, because win, lose, or fail, if I'm going to be successful, it's going to be at doing something I love and being me. So in the beginning, it was so much more natural and so easy for me, because what I was doing, I had spent my life doing, and it's what I'm really good at. So I am a holistic practitioner. I'm a board certified nutritionist, but that's not who I am. It's not the nutritionist that helps them with the weight loss and the gut health and the thyroid. It is that nurse, that person that's compassionate, that showed up to help them originally. And I didn't need to take a class in nutrition. That is so much a part of nursing. So I already had those skills as a nurse, but in my mind, I didn't think that anybody would listen to me if I didn't have that background. But the person that's still helping them is the nurse, not the nutritionist. So certainly I have that knowledge, but that knowledge is nowhere near as strong and as helpful and as compassionate as that nurse. So nutrition is part of nursing, right? But nursing isn't part of nutrition. And as a nurse, I save lives every day with hypertension, diabetes, people bottoming out, to all different disease processes. And diet is a part of all of those disease processes. So I have to know that. But when I tried to step into this new role, it just didn't wash. So I think you should just be who you are. If somebody's going to like you, there's a lot of people out there that feel like they don't know enough or they don't have enough experience, people are going to connect with you and your story and share that as part of your story, that you don't feel comfortable. This is so new. What am I doing? I don't know. I think I did one of my first lives on Facebook with you. I didn't know how to stream in, and you helped me. And I did that with the audience so they could see this isn't easy for me, but I want to reach you. And I don't think I lost their respect because I'm not great at tech. If anything, they saw they were important enough for me to figure that out. So just show up, share your story, be who you are. And there's going to be somebody that connects with you. There's millions and millions of people out there. A lot of people have that concept that, there's some kind of limitation on growth, and there's really not. I'm not where I want to be yet. Am I successful? Yes, but maybe because I judge my success differently than others. It's not just financial for me. I'm doing something I love every day. I'm getting paid for it. I'm having fun. I'm meeting people. That's successful to me. So I'm not where I want to be. My channels are going to grow. Everything's going to grow. And then I'm going to kind of connect them. So
yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning that. What's the next step for you and your business?
I'm probably going to connect all those channels. So I'm growing out the channels. I've given some away. I certainly don't need 25 channels. And there's some people out there that I really respect. And I want to see, they're not comfortable. They're not at the point I'm at yet with speaking. And I guess that's because that's what I did to get away from the camera. So I'm trying to help them and push them a little bit because they have such a powerful message. So I gave them the channels. Some of them have been sitting there a little while waiting for them to get started, but that's okay. So I think that the more I talk about it, I am going to start a channel about me and my journey, because I think that people need to connect to me more. Who I am.
Question, when you say channel, are you talking about your streaming channels?
They're not channels. I have a TV network, and there's 25 channels on that network. So they're all individual shows that stream, and they stream to 160 countries all over the world. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there's 111.7 million people on that platform. So I have the potential to reach a lot more. So one show is Echoes of Destiny, and that streams into my website. That's a little bit of health, everything, meal planning, exercise. So I can take whatever I want off of YouTube and add it to my channel as long as it's not restricted. So I think everybody needs comedy. Some people don't know how to exercise. Some people don't know how to cook. So you got Gordon Ramsay in there. You got other people in there, because I think that's what they need. But they could also see the other channels and who I am as a person, watching me with other people. I have the Healing with the Inside Out that I started with. I have Real Life for the Entrepreneurs, where I tell people it's not easy, but it's worth it. Keep going. And I do that with a friend. I have Building Community. I put a post up, does anybody want to be a guest? And I had 468 responses to that post. So I created a channel for them, and that's where that is. I have Beekonnected, because that's one of my favorite platforms. So it's all about the power of what's going on there now, and people that are on there. There's 100 of us elite coaches, and we're talking about the P3 system and selling from the platform and all the great new stuff that we added in, and why we use it for our business, how it helps our business. And there's Queen by Design. That's for my girlfriend, Kathy Boyd. I love her, and I really love what she puts out there. I'm doing another one with a speech pathologist, Soul's Code, and that's about communication, verbal and non, and how that's helped us in our career and in our lives. Build community and trust in the businesses that we do. So there's quite a few up there, and just keep going.
That's a lot. Where can we watch your channels?
So it's on Stream TV. It's Chronicles of Courage, and then it will bring you Andra Annette. So Stream TV Andra Annette. It will bring you to my channels, or I believe there's a link inside my website at poundstickle.com, so they can go in there and click on one of those, and it really should take them back to the stream.
Okay, I'll make sure to put all those links in the video description. But just wanted to know the platform too. So Stream TV, and just tell us real quick about Beekonnected, because that's a platform you introduced to me as well. And you really believe in this platform for coaches specifically, right?
For coaches, entrepreneurs, influencers, MLMs, people that do MLMs, I think it's absolutely the best place to be. To not just grow your audience, make real connections, and build your business. There's no algorithms.
Do you help people with Beekonnected too?
Yes, I do. I'm one of their elite coaches. We have a 1% club. We get together all the time and we talk about how we can help other people. We work very closely together. It's not everybody out for themselves. Even the coaches, we're all connected. And there's no algorithms on this platform. So if I make a post, if I was in there now and I made a post, 100% of those people on that platform see my posts. And if they like what I said or they want to connect with me, all they have to do is click on my name and they can send a request. It's, there's no more looking for leads. They have an AI lead connector. And every time you hit that button, it brings up 6 people. Not 6 people that are your ideal clients. 6 people that are just like you, interested in the same stuff you are based on the profile that you put out, so you can collaborate and grow together. Because a lot of people think this journey is a single journey. It's not. We grow together. We help each other grow. So you can collaborate with other people. Maybe there's someone that teaches fitness. I'm not a fitness expert by any means, but she would be a lovely complement to that nutrition professional, right? So maybe we can collaborate and do a 3-day live and help people get better benefits. So however you want to do it. But they also have premium content now where you can sell from the platform. You can have membership groups. So my intention probably is going to be to just be there and really have everybody that's in my market and in my wheel well come to me there, because that's where I'm going to be. I've already announced to all my groups that if they want to connect with me, that's the best place. That's where I'll be doing my lives. You can stream live in and out of the platform. That because you have a wonderful YouTube show, you can stream that right into the platform so people can watch you. That's going to help generate views on YouTube, and it's going to bring people back to you to connect to you and get to know who you are. So we have something like 10 million people waiting to come in because we are beta testing now. So we're in that last phase, and that's almost over. So
if somebody wants to join the Beekonnected platform, do you still help people get set up? Can they still reach out to you?
Yes, absolutely. So they can go to https www.beekonnected.com/Andra Annette. And yes, we do help them. We also do orientations inside the platform. Every coach does different days of the week so that if anybody feels like they're having a hard time, they can see those, because repetition is the mother of invention. And it's different. It's new. Certainly when Zoom came out, a lot of people didn't understand the concept. Now everybody's using it for their business. Everybody used it during COVID. This has a meeting as part of it. So you do have web conferences. If let's say you're doing a webinar or workshop and 50 people pop on, it automatically starts streaming live to the platform. So you have a lot more reach in here, and the people that are here are all business minded. They all run businesses, and they want to make those connections and grow together. So that's what it's about.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to connect with you on the business side, learn about your marketing and your your coaching business, and they can connect with you through Beekonnected. And if somebody wants to connect with you as a health coach and a gut health expert, then they go to poundstogo.com. Is that right? Okay, very good. I'll make sure those links are saved. Andra, any final words that you want to leave people with?
I think that you should just tune into who you are. The more comfortable you are in your own skin and in what you want to achieve, the easier it will be for you. There's always going to be problems, but the more you see the problem, the further away the solution gets. So look for solutions. Don't problem solve. Solution solve.
Thank you so much, Andra. Thank you for your time today. It was such a great conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you're a coach or consultant, then please follow my channel for more marketing videos like this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope I'll see you in the next video.